Have your costume yet? You're going to want to see this. Up next, which costumes are on the way out and which one is expected to be the most popular this year. In school bus safety, after several crashes here in the Valley, a new test shows the importance of seat belts and how they could save your child's life. And remember, the Chopper 13 is bringing you breaking news fast and first. We'll be right back. Our new soccer team, the Las Vegas Lights Football Club, unveiled its new logo this morning. Officials with the Las Vegas Lights Football Club says it was inspired by fan submissions. Lights Football Club will start the preseason at Cashman Field in February of next year. As we all know, Halloween is tomorrow, and experts say costumes this year will be very different from last year's themes. In 2016, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton dominated, but this year, people are getting away from politics. According to the National Retail Federation, 200,000 fewer people purchase political costumes. Instead, according to Google, they are going toward superheroes, especially Wonder Woman. And retailers are expecting you to spend a record $9.1 billion on Halloween this year. According to the National Retail Federation, consumers are expected to spend $3.4 billion on costumes, $2.7 billion on candy, and then another $2 billion on decorations. That's on average just over $86 for every American. Up next, an update on that dramatic rescue at sea. The two women saved after 5 months on a storm-battered sailboat share their story and recount how they were able to survive. And a family in mourning gets a horrific surprise from the funeral home, the mix-up that caused even more grief for this family. Two women and their dogs who were lost at sea for months before being saved by the U.S. Navy are now opening up about that ordeal. ABC's Danya Backus has the latest.
Just when they thought they were out of luck.
When we saw the Navy, we were like, yes!
A wave and kisses the moment a rescue team finally reached Jennifer Apple, Tasha Fuyaba, and their two dogs, Valentine and Zeus.
We had tears going down our eyes, and we're like, okay, they see us, they see us.
The four were adrift at sea for 5 months. Their harrowing ordeal started in May as they were attempting a pleasure sail from Hawaii to Tahiti. But shortly after their departure, a massive storm crippled their engine, damaged the boat, and at one point sharks rammed their vessel.
When those things would hit the boat, my own teeth would rattle in my head, and really we were kind of on the ground just praying.
For months, their distress calls and signal flares went unanswered, and their year-long supply of food was almost gone.
When we realized we weren't no one was assisting us, we actually talked about how we believed we'd been left for dead.
Yeah.
And that was it.
They were drifting aimlessly 900 miles off the coast of Japan until after more than 150 days of waiting, a Taiwanese fishing vessel spotted them and alerted the Navy. The women are now grateful to the sailors and crew members aboard the USS Ashland who not only saved them, but welcomed their dogs with open arms.
Nearly 6 months of just, both of us loving them. I've been like over 300 people just petting them, loving them.
The two are hoping their boat, which was left adrift, will be rescued and they will once again be able to sail on the vessel that kept them safe for months. Danya Backus, ABC News, Los Angeles.
A 12-year-old boy has been critically injured and a young woman is dead after a tragic attempted suicide. Police say that the boy tried to kill himself by jumping off of an overpass. Instead, he struck a car driving below, killing the driver, 22-year-old Marissa Harris. That boy was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. The victim's family says the irony in this tragedy is that Harris wanted to help children just like that boy. And now to a look at school bus safety. A majority of buses in America don't have seat belts, even though they can save lives in an accident. A school bus slammed by a semi-truck. That was a test shown for the first time to the public. 6 dummies had seat belts and 4 of them didn't. One of those dummies flew out the window. The test was put on by seat belt maker IMI, demonstrating its new model. Now, creators say that the biggest safety feature is the 3-point seat belts, which can help prevent students from being tossed around.
So high injury, fatality type situation when you get a body slammed against a hard surface like that.
And there is no federal requirement to have seat belts in school buses, but 6 states have mandated and many others are considering other types of regulations. And a Utah family is mourning the loss of a loved one and dealing with some additional trauma after the funeral home gave them the wrong remains. Kim Goodsell's brother passed away in California, and she made arrangements to have his cremated remains sent to her in Utah. But when the remains arrived, they were not her brother. She says they were labeled with someone else's name. The crematory has apologized and says that this has never happened before. And today, much of the Northeast is cleaning up after getting smacked last night with a powerful storm packing hurricane-force winds and torrential rain. ABC's Maggie Rulli has the latest from New York.
Cleanup crews are out in full force across the Northeast, desperate to get power back to the hundreds of thousands of people still in the dark.
Howling wind, heavy rain, the next thing, snap and crack.
The region recovering from that powerful storm that ripped up the coast on Sunday. At one point, 1.2 million people were without power. Others trapped on board this Amtrak train for 15 hours.
Stayed for the whole time without light, without electricity.
Hurricane-force winds slapped the coast, whipping more than 80 miles per hour in Rhode Island.
I was just about to go to sleep when I heard a loud explosion, a boom.
Sending this gazebo in Rockland, Maine flying into the air, toppling trees right onto utility lines, and slicing through houses in Methuen, Massachusetts. This one destroying a bedroom that belonged to Lisa Gomez's son. Luckily, he wasn't home at the time.
It could have been devastating. It could have been devastating.
Now concerns over cresting rivers and flash floods in New England, with some rivers rising 7 to 10 feet. The storm, fueled by the remnants of a tropical storm that hit Florida over the weekend, spawning at least 4 tornadoes. That community now also left cleaning up. It's getting sunny out now here in New York, but high winds remain in many areas, making it difficult for crews to restore power. The governor of Maine even declared a state of emergency to give his crews the flexibility they need to get the power back on for as many people as possible. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
And now let's check in again with 13 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Brian Schofield.
I'll tell you, after that package, I'm not sure that our weather is, I could even complain. I mean, I was going to show you some strong winds and some cooler temperatures, but that's some rough stuff. So what we have obviously doesn't compare, but it's a big deal to us because you get those nuisance winds in here, and it looks like they'll be a little bit beyond that, getting out of hand. Yeah. We'll throw in some more cloud cover. Not quite done with yet, and I'll show you what computer models say about chances for rain coming up here. So just stay with that one. We'll definitely see some changes on the way, but look at those beautiful 80s, some spectacular stuff. Saw a tweet that some people still think this is the summer-like weather, but I'll tell you that it certainly has been quite warm lately. That is going to change big time. We're going to be dropping down those temperatures and ramping up the wind. Look at that wind go up there by this coming weekend. It's never too early to plan for the weekend, and that's exactly what we're doing. Look at that for the next couple of days, starting Thursday, end of the week, early in the weekend, getting those winds up there. But it's been a while since we've seen any sort of rain, anything to really change the landscape out here. 52 days. I'll show you what a computer model says about that. But in the meantime, we're looking okay. Desert Doppler cloud cover, quite a bit of it. Pull out a little bit more and you're seeing what looks like could be on approach, maybe a shower or two there. But here's what Futurecast is showing. Late tonight, maybe early tomorrow, I mean, we're just be hard pressed to even pull out a little sprinkle out of the works into tomorrow, and then it's gone. So a little bit of that, a little bit of this here and there, some thicker cloud cover. Let's just make things, I think, kind of set the stage for tomorrow night's event, getting out and about. But I don't see any major rain event, that's for sure. I do see wind coming in, not as much tomorrow as really the end of the week. But those temperatures drop a little bit more for tomorrow. Cloud cover enhanced some of that too. Sunrise Manor, 77. Some good-looking temperatures, I think. What a wonderful day. That means in the evening hours, most people won't have to wear jackets necessarily. Most, but it's always good to keep one handy if you get a little cold a little early there. Take a look, Lake Mead 79 degrees to end off the day tomorrow. So planning on the weekend, big wind coming in, maybe a stray shower over the weekend. It'd be about time. Look at those temperatures dropping big time, and even more so by early next week. Oh, and don't want to fail to mention, we're actually falling back. It's that time of year again. So the temperatures do continue to drop throughout the week. Still a decent number for tomorrow, getting out and about, and then they drop dramatically by early next week. And don't forget, you don't want to be late or too early. I can't remember how that works. So you got to set the clocks back. Okay, back to you, Carl.